This is the Seahawkers podcast. We are live for our week 6 picks, Adam. Normally we do this on Thursday. There was a thing on Thursday that happened that kind of got in the way. Our Seahawks were playing, but it was fine. We got through that, and now it's time to do our picks.
I don't recall what happened Thursday. I don't know what you're even referring to. Nope, that wasn't
No,
real.
no, this
No,
this doesn't ring a bell with this top game selected here, where you have the Seahawks picked along with
no, it must be coming
35%
up in a
of CBS Pick'em
yeah.
users.
No, it must be coming up in a few weeks or something. I don't know.
Must be. That's what
Yeah,
it does seem early.
yeah,
Having a game on Thursday has thrown off this entire week for me. I felt like Friday was Monday, and now today I don't even know what day it is. I don't like it.
yeah, man. Ever since the Boston week, right? Like going out that week, it feels like we're playing catch up each and every week somehow. I don't know. It's been hard to get back into the rhythm for sure. But yeah, glad to at least be doing picks here because we had to, right? Like there was a special request from a very special winner this week in from Bloomy and
Yeah.
Van Dyke, right? Isn't that what he's got going
Hawk
on?
Van Dyke.
Van
Yeah.
Dyke. Hawk Van
Hawk
Dyke.
Van Dyke
Yeah.
in the Discord. He posted there earlier on Saturday today saying, "No pick'em show. The first time I win in years, Golden Hawk. What a ripoff."
Yeah, it would
So,
be a ripoff. And when Bloomy says like he needs his pick'em show and his respect, he gets it because he is that kind of guy for us for sure. He's important.
well, we can also take a moment to respect our live executive
Hey,
producer.
all right,
He's got his
Ryan.
notifications on because who would have thought that we'd be doing 2 live shows in one day? Our Ryan 911, he's there ready to executive produce on a moment's notice.
Hey man, that is legendary status right there from Ryan. Appreciate you, man. As always, you are awesome.
And yes, if you are not liking the show or subscribing, hit that subscribe button. And that way you can be like Ryan and be notified as soon as we're going live so you don't miss any time that we decide to hit that live button. Like when, I don't know, Bloomy says, I demand my live show because I won Pick'em this week.
Yeah, I mean, or don't. I mean, it's up to you. It's a free country.
It is. So let's get into it. London game up early on. I'm probably going to sleep through this one, Adam. Jaguars at
Oh, yeah.
Bears. I'm curious what you think here. It's a very close game. Jaguars actually favored by 1 point. Am I reading odds correctly?
I guess you are. I mean, I guess they figure that it's a home field advantage for the Jags there because they play all the London games and are hoping to be moved there someday. But they got their first win last week, looked pretty good. Bears also rolled against the Panthers, and Caleb had his best game of the year. I just like the Bears defense too much against Trevor Lawrence, who's been just really up and down this year with a lot more down. So I'm going with the Bears here just because I think defensively they're a far more advanced team than the Jaguars.
Defensively for the Jags, 31st in total yards, 31st against the pass. They are decent against the rush, but yeah, and the Bears, shockingly, not much of a rushing team. Shane Waldron, we're looking at you, but
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
say. Yeah, it
The
doesn't matter
thing
if they're
is,
good against the run because Waldron's not going to do it. So who cares?
the thing is, if they're 1 point favorites and only 15% of the pick and base is picking the Jaguars, I'm going to use my risk pick here.
Hey, that's fair enough because Vegas is smart. So I get it. That would be a decent one to choose.
Commanders at Ravens. This might be the game of the weekend right here.
Oh, absolutely. I can't believe the Commanders are nearly 7-point dogs here. That's way too much. I mean, they've been rolling. Jaden Daniels has looked like new Lamar. But at the end of the day, I think old Lamar says, not so fast, my friend. You got some growing to do yet. And I really do like the way that the Ravens have been able to rush the football. And honestly, against a Washington defense that has struggled in the run game throughout the season, I just don't think that the Commanders are going to have the ball enough to be able to, keep up with the Ravens here. So definitely going Ravens.
I'm going Ravens too, but the fact that the Ravens are still at the bottom of the NFL in passing yards allowed, that doesn't bode real well. I think the Commanders, it'll give them an opportunity to stay in this. So I guess if I were picking spreads, I would like the Commanders, but I still like the Ravens to win.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. If we were picking against the spread, for sure, Commanders.
Go Pack, go. Packers at home against the stupid Arizona Cardinals. 12% going with the Cardinals. Is that? Oh,
let's say Packers +2.
Oops, I just picked the Packers for you.
Or -2.
Packers -5.5.
I don't know. The Cardinals have been feistier than that, but I do like the Packers in this game, and also screw the Cards forever. So there's that. I guess they did beat the Niners for us since we can't. That was nice. But I mean, even despite Jordan Love's up and down a little bit this year, I still think that with all the weapons on that team and the way that LaFleur is calling games, that they're going to score a ton of points against a Cards defense that has really performed above expectation, I think, but still no match.
I mean, the Cards defense 25th in the league right now, giving up 360 yards per game. That's not stellar. But at the same time, no. I think if they can continue to run the ball as well as they have, I think it gives them a chance to stay in this. So 5.5 again, it does seem like a lot, but I like the Packers as well.
Okay.
Texans, Patriots. This one seems like it should be obvious with 3% going for the Pats. Drake May, though, expected to start this game.
That's interesting. I still think that they should just sit May for the entire season and not worry about what they're going to do this year. Just accumulate picks, high picks, be able to shore up the rest of that team around Drake May next year. Give them a full year to just kind of sit back and learn the league. But as in true league form, impatience rules. And here we go with Drake May right out of the gate. Maybe he'll be great right out of the gate, but I'm dubious about that. And, the Texans are maybe one of the most balanced teams in all the league in terms of just complementary football with offense and defense. And I just have a hard time picking them against them here. Plus, I've picked all home teams to this point. Time to pick a road team to go Texans.
You're flipping over to the road finally. All right. Yeah, the reason why you look at this offensive output that the Patriots are putting up. So I feel like they need just to shake it up somehow is maybe what they're thinking.
Why?
But against the Texans defense, that's when you're going to roll out your rookie quarterback. Like, now's the time.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, where's the urgency? Like, where's the fire? Like, why are we worried about being good in any way, shape, or form this year if you're a Patriot? Like, just go for that high draft pick. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. All right. Well, Buccaneers at Saints. Saints a home team, only 21% going with New Orleans. Bucks leading that division, and they're favored by 3.5.
Yeah, Saints fading after the hot start.
Spencer Rattler, I think, is going to start for the Saints this week.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, Bucks. I'm good with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that you could probably throw out a lot of these offensive stats with Rattler behind center.
Oh, absolutely. He's got so much Favre in him at this point. Like young Favre, Falcons Favre, that I have a hard time thinking that he's going to come out and look sharp right out of the gate. So Baker continues to add to his MVP candidacy. I'm going Bucks.
Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, Saints still just outside of risk pick territory even, but maybe they don't realize that Rattler's getting the start. Or maybe they're just optimistic.
Yeah.
Dolphok 93, check it in. 2 shows. Yeah, man, we've got to get our picks in this week before under the deadline. Adam's done so well to this point to get his picks in, and plus we have an email from our overlord Evie that we have to get to at some point. So yeah, don't let me forget. We have Evie to get to.
Oh, absolutely. We cannot forget the overlord.
I think I have a call from Bloomy too.
Oh,
I am.
we better. Oh, that's fantastic. I really hope that that's rattling around somewhere there in the emails, because I want to hear everything from Bloomy about his victory lap here, and he deserves it.
All right. Well, I will try to get to that as well. I'll pull that up over on the side, and hopefully I have
Okay.
the audio all lined up so we
as
can actually play that.
Well, there we go. As you search for that, let's talk a little Browns Eagles. The matchup of just emotionally broken teams. Um, I understand that, the Eagles have played overall a little better than the Browns, only because the Browns are legitimately a grease fire. But I don't think this is a slam dunk at all for the Eagles. The whole point spread there, it alarms me a little bit.
8.5.
I mean,
8.5 in favor of the Eagles.
I can't imagine that they get to halftime with a struggling Watson and don't turn to Winston finally. I mean, if the Pats are finally going to May, I mean, it's got to be time for them to sit Watson, right? Like, I don't care about the contract. There just comes a point. Yeah. And if that happens, then all bets are off. Yeah. Is this risk pick territory?
Let's see. I think I'm pretty. Oh, yeah. 3% with the Browns.
I'm going to go with my risk pick here. I'm going to take Browns. I don't like it.
Just because of Winston. You're banking on the opportunity that Winston is able to come in and get that win.
And be a quarterback. Yeah, that would be awesome. And Ryan's totally right, man. I mean, it's still early. Don't count those chickens before they're hatched, right?
That's right. We're only 6 weeks into this, Ryan. I mean,
yeah. And if it hadn't have been for Bloomy's demands, I'm not sure we would have made this happen tonight, even. So
no, probably not. All right, Colts at Titans. We are still in that early window of games, but this is the last one. Colts at Titans.
Are they rolling AR out for this, or is this another Flacco sans? Is that what's happening here? He played well last week.
It sounds like AR is coming back, which could be the reason why the Titans are favored by 2.5.
God, they are. Wow. Okay. What are the team stats here? Because I feel like the Colts are a decent defensive team, and I know that the Titans have played good defense all year.
Nope, Titans have played good defense. Yeah, not so much for the Colts defense. A little surprising.
Okay.
I didn't expect to see him at 32nd in total yards.
I didn't either, with the talent that they have on that side of the ball.
But look at that Titans offense. 30th in total yards, 30th in passing.
Okay, so the Colts defense, the pathetic Colts defense against a pathetic Titans offense, and then a good, very good Titans defense against mediocre Colts offense. Okay, I'll go Titans here. I haven't rolled the dice with the Titans all year. This is the one.
I am tired of rolling the dice with the Titans. I think I figured it out, Adam. I think I figured out why I got so accustomed to picking the Titans just in random weird ways, is because Coach Vrabel would always pull out wins that the Titans really shouldn't get. And now that Coach Vrabel is gone, like, I'm still in that tract of my mind that I can't get out of that rut. And that's why I'm going Colts here. I'm trying to reformat all of my past picks, decision making based on Vrabel.
Well, you're gonna have to do something, because I still think you're behind me, so that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I'm comfortable hanging with the 72% this week. Into the afternoon games, Chargers at Broncos. This might be the coin flip game of the week, with 56% Denver and 44% going with the pretty banged up Chargers.
Yeah, banged up Chargers. Offensively, they haven't been able to kind of get it going. And look, I like the way that the Denver defense is playing. They have started to round into form a little bit. I know the offensive numbers don't look great, but boy, did they look good last week. And they've been able to run the ball consistently against anybody. Their offensive line is playing well. And, there was the altercation on the sideline where Nix gave Sean Payton the Bo Nizzness. That was awesome. When I saw that, man, when he started barking at Sean Payton, I was like, oh, they've got their dude for sure. Like, I'm totally sold. Like, if you are a rookie quarterback and you're balling out a head coach with the resume that Sean Payton has, you know exactly what you're talking about because there's no way you would push back.
Right.
And B, you'd have to feel super comfortable with what you're seeing on the field. And you put all those things together, like that shows me that that's a rookie that it's starting to click for. And he should have had another touchdown pass in that game if his former college teammate hadn't dropped it in the end zone. So I like the Broncos a lot in this game. Yeah.
Yeah,
Broncos.
offensively, they're starting to pick things up. It is going to be tough. Like Bo Nix against strong-ish defenses has struggled a little bit. So I wonder if this is going to be kind of a low-scoring game that ends up coming down to that fourth quarter. But those tend to be the games that the Chargers have lost historically too. So I'm also going Broncos.
Okay. They'll lose for sure.
Steelers at Raiders. Is this the week we finally see Russ?
I hope so.
I don't know if we've gotten a solid word on whether or not Russ is actually going to play this game.
Well, after 2 straight losses, you kind of figured that it would be the Justin Fields show until he strung together a couple losses and maybe didn't look as good as he did in earlier weeks, which has been the case. And then the Raiders are a complete disaster. It's the Max Crosby show, and that's about it. No Devontae Adams still. He's still nursing a hamstring, and he's not going to play. If hamstring means trade me, maybe that's a legitimate injury. But yeah, I don't like anything that's going on with the Raiders right now. And the Steelers are going to make Aiden O'Connell look stupid.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at as far as I think that I think I'm going to go Steelers here. It sounds like based on what I'm seeing is that Russ may be active, so that kind of leads me to believe that it's going to be Fields still.
Just because he's active and not listed as a starter? Is that where it's at for you?
I think, well, Tomlin said he's proven his health. Now it's just a matter of knocking off the rust. I don't know. Oh, yeah. So Tomlin told reporters Friday his injury return didn't result into a switch at signal caller, at least for week 6. So it's going to be Fields.
All right, fine. Well, he will find open fields to run galore in, I think, against a Raiders team that is in the death spiral. And you can't bench Minshew like that for Aiden O'Connell. Like, come on.
No. Why? Falcons, our next opponent. They're going to be taking on the Panthers. Will they have false confidence in going up against our Seahawks after a win against Carolina?
Yes, they're going to trounce the Panthers by a zillion points and come in overly cocky against the Seahawks, and we finally get off our 3-game losing streak.
Favored by 6 points on the road in Carolina. That's maybe not a shock, but I don't know. Could the Panthers end up shocking us and beating the Falcons? What would be worse? Falcons coming off a loss to the Panthers or coming off of a win?
Oh, a loss for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so we want them to win this week.
Oh, big time.
Even though they'll be 4-2. Okay. I'm curious. I always wonder if players think about those types of dynamics or if it even really matters.
I don't think they think about it ahead of time, but I do think it matters after the fact.
Lions at Cowboys, 77% going with the Detroit Lions, 23% against the hometown Cowboys. Lions favored by 3.
Okay. That feels fair. I think everybody's woken up to the fact that the Cowboys are a one-dimensional team, and against a good defense like the Lions, that's not going to fly. I mean, even though I guess we got away with passing the football a zillion times without ever running it, but Cowboys beat up defensively still. And basically the Cowboys and the Seahawks are very similar teams right now. Just all the talent in the world, not putting it together in any way. And the Lions have been rolling. So yeah, Lions for me.
Oh man, I was kind of leaning Cowboys, but then I see Micah Parsons is out. DeMarcus Lawrence is out.
Yeah, Kendricks too.
What's that?
Kendricks too, yeah.
I just feel like the Cowboys have to get their first win at home sometime.
Do they?
I feel like it. I'm going Cowboys. Screw it. I'm staying with my initial pick.
Cool. I love it. Good job, buddy.
Well, here's the other thing is I was noticing just as I was making my picks that I had a lot of favorites. And I have to switch it up at some point. And the Cowboys,
well, I get that.
It made me think that they could be close. They're playing at home and they haven't won yet. It has to happen.
Well, after 5 weeks of results, you start to get a feel for the league. And I think then, favorites, it does make sense to kind of lean towards favorites.
Sure.
Yeah, I like it.
Into Sunday night football, Bengals 1-4 against the Giants, 2-3. Giants playing at home, and they are not favored. They're the Bengals favored by 3.5.
Okay. Yeah. This is one of those. There's certain teams that the records don't indicate how good that they've been playing as a whole. Defensively, they've been a bit of a dumpster fire. But offensively, Burrow, Chase, the run game, everything's clicking. I really think that the Bengals here, if they give a shit at all about their season, they got to beat the Giants on the road here.
They have to, but that number right there, 30th in rushing yards allowed by the defense, I mean, that could bite them with the Giants offense. Like, this is the same. They could get beat by the Giants just like we did.
Yeah, but I think the Bengals are better than we are right now. At least offensively, they're sound. Yeah. So, yeah, at the end of the day, look, I'm not going to give Clinton his due either. The Giants are still not good, and I'm still going to pick against them.
They're not good. They've only got 2 wins on the year. They're a bad team.
It's a spite pick.
The other thing that I always pay attention to, like these last 5 games, because I know I picked the Bills here, and so when I looked at this initially, picking the Lions, I was like, I can't just pick 5 road teams to win out of these last 5 games. That doesn't feel like one of these home teams has to get a win here.
Yeah, and here we go. It's the start of the Ulrich era in New York Jets football legend here in history. I imagine the defense is going to stay close to the same. I understand that Saleh was the defensive head coach, but Ulrich was the defensive coordinator, and he's got a strong, nice gray beard going on that I think will rally the troops. Like, that's something you can get behind. And offensively, I'm wondering if this is actually going to get better because they did demote Hackett and, bring somebody else up. The question is you often get that bounce when you get rid of the coach and you bring somebody in, but that's usually because the whole team hates the coach. I feel like it was just Aaron Rodgers that hated Robert Saleh. So I'm not sure that they're going to, yeah, I'm not sure that they're going to get that bounce. Man, I think this game is tougher than it appears on paper. The Bills haven't looked awesome lately.
Favored by
Division
2.5.
games are weird. Jets are at home.
It's a weird game.
Of Ulrich starts.
Yeah, there's Pete Prisco is going with the Bills. Does that help you? And he's predicting a 40-39 game.
Yep, of course he is. Jets.
I don't think it'll be that high scoring, but I'm going with the Bills because, like I said, I switched over the Cowboys game just because I like the Bills on Monday night. They're coming off that loss to the Texans. They need a bounce back win.
Yeah.
They lost to the they did. All right. Tie-breaking score, Adam. Buffalo, New York. Are you also going to go with Prisco and pick 79 points?
No, I'm picking 51, 27-24.
All right. 51 points. That is our picks. Well, that is Adam's picks. Those are our picks. And what do you say we see if we can hear Bloomy through this audio?
Okay.
Hello, this is Hawk Van Dyke, and I guess my Hawkera must be pretty bloody good lately because I've hosted people like David Van Cleve and Roger and Cora and even Lisa Carlson this week. My reward, winning the Pick'em for the first time in years. And I would have to say to our overlord, Evie, it's coming home. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks, Dave.
That's awesome. That gives me so much joy. I can barely put it into words. It just the idea too that his Hawker is strong. He deserves that win. Like getting all the other little flockers together with him overseas and all of that. Like, yeah, that's worthy of a dub for sure.
Well, he did mention Evie, our Pick'em League overlord, and I don't have her intro music here. I'll put it in post because we can't let Evie come in here without the trumpets. Do 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 do.
There
we go. Perfect. You have made me a happy overlord. You all obeyed the rules and picked the Seahawks. Well done. You have avoided my wrath this week. Even you, Bronco Jared. I've been thinking, despite my reputation, I am a kind, understanding, and reasonable overlord. I'm happy to make a concession to Bronco Jared. It would appear that he has had a tough life, facing many tragedies and drops on his head, which have led him to support the Broncos. With this in mind, I will allow him to pick against the Seahawks as long as he always picks the Broncos in the same way you all have to pick the Seahawks.
Ooh,
okay. He must also give Adam large amounts of beer the next time he sees him.
All right. I think that's doable all the way around. And I think Jared's amenable to that. Not only was he dropped on his head a lot as a kid, but he ate a lot of paint chips too. And I think there's some high voltage power lines in his childhood's home backyard. So not a strikes against him. I mean, what are you gonna do?
And he roots for the Broncos now. So draw your own conclusions.
And forever. Yeah.
Well done to Hawk Van Dyke this week with 11 correct picks and the exact tiebreaker. He is this week's winner. Overall, Boyer's Blitz Brigade is out front with 52 correct picks. One clear from Hawk's win equals in, and the Very Hungry Grubber on 51. Dad is 5 picks back on 48, tied with 13th place, with many including Adam. This week, he is mostly mad at some Pirates, some Steelers, some Patriots, and some 49ers, he claims, is not picking teams represented by people names again. In the Brandon versus Adam mini league, Adam is currently out front with 48 picks correct, with Brandon languishing on 41. If you take each week as a fixture, it doesn't get much better for Brandon either, with Adam currently winning 4-1. Have a good week, everyone. Be good, follow the rules, even you, Bronco Jared, and go Hawks. Love, Evie.
Hey, go Hawks. Love you back, Evie. And I really appreciate the use of the word languish for Brandon's picks, because he's absolutely languishing.
Hey, I'm just like our Seahawks. Except they started well and then it hasn't gone well. So I don't know what I'm like. I'm like a not very good at picking person.
Yeah. Well, Adby here, this is an interesting comment. And I think if we were to bring in Saleh, that would be, well, one, I don't think Mike's going to be excited about that. He's running the defense. But secondly, you'd have to fight off the 49ers, because I think they're desperate to probably bring him in and get rid of Sorensen and
no, all three. You have a coaching trio on the defensive side. You go all three, and that way, Shanahan can just have another defensive mind to blame in the coaching staff there.
Yeah, and actually that would work out nicely for him, because you could blame one week, one the second week, the other the third week, and then by that time you're ready to switch it all around. Yeah, that works for him. Yeah.
It's an interesting thought just with him having spent time in Seattle, but I think with Coach Mike being the defensive guru and not having any head coaching experience, I think it would introduce just kind of a weird dynamic. I think bringing in a former head coach, especially midway into the season when there's not really a spot, and after the season, who knows? I guess we'll see what happens. But I don't think Saleh is going to have a hard time finding a job when people realize that the Jets, generally fire people who are actually good at their jobs.
Yeah. I mean, they fire people that are bad at their jobs too, but they can't seem to keep anybody around who's any good. And I think that'd just be too much handsome to bring into the organization, honestly.
That's true.
Yeah.
You need to balance out coaching handsomeness for sure.
Yeah, he's uncomfortably good looking. And good for him.
Yeah, no jealousy at all coming
Not
from
even a
Adam's
little.
mouth there.
No. Gosh, if you woke up Robert Saleh tomorrow, you're having a good day. You're rid of Aaron Rodgers. You look like he does. Like, you could have all of the, bald thing endorsements. Like,
Oh, yeah. You get the Bic razor endorsement. You get
sure.
everything comes your way. That's for sure. Yeah, hit the like button if you're just now joining us. I know we just got a few people who joined us for our picks this week, but we wanted to get them out to everybody. So big thanks to Blue and Green Zone, Abdi for showing up in the chat, Dolphhawk93. We got Nate Schutz, Ryan911. Appreciate you all contributing and following along as we offer up our picks this week. And a special thanks to Ryan for coming in and dropping a super chat. Really appreciate that.
Oh, more than you guys know. Thank you for sticking with us and, allowing us to do this late this week as we all lament what didn't happen on Thursday. So
never happened. It didn't happen.
No.
And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.